All right, so welcome to another deep dive with us. Today, we are diving into this software. It's called Dynova AI. And, you shared some of their marketing materials with us. And sounds like you're trying to figure out, is this worth it? Is this something that I should actually purchase or not? And this one, let me tell you, this one caught my eye right away. They're claiming that you can run ads on YouTube for free, completely free, by exploiting videos, as they put it. Sounds kind of crazy, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely attention grabbing, and it definitely makes you wonder, how is that even possible? But, at the end of the day, what we want to figure out is, can Dynova AI deliver on that promise? And, what could it mean for your marketing efforts?
Yeah, exactly. So let's dig in a little bit here. So from what I'm gathering, Dynova AI is all about placing ads, or even full videos, on top of existing YouTube and Vimeo content. And they say you can, bypass those hefty advertising fees. They even have this, 4-step process. Access, place, profit.
Catchy. And what I find interesting is they're really emphasizing that they leverage AI and what they're calling a loophole to get your content seen without violating terms of service or resorting to spamming, which is always, a big concern if you've ever tried to advertise on these platforms.
Right. It almost sounds too good to be true. But let's say for a moment that it works as advertised. I mean, the benefits that they're touting are pretty impressive. They're saying there is no video creation or editing required. I mean, that right there is a huge relief for anyone who's not a tech whiz.
True.
Or even just doesn't have time to learn all those, editing software programs.
Yeah, that's a major selling point for sure. Because it really lowers the barrier to entry for anyone who, wants to get into video marketing, but might have been intimidated by, the whole production side of things.
Right. Totally. And you know what else caught my attention? You talk about having all these customization options for branding and calls to action. Plus, they say it's all mobile friendly, which, let's face it, is a must-have these days. Oh, and they even claim to have integration with analytics and payment platforms, which, I mean, come on, that would be like a dream for streamlining your campaigns and tracking results.
Yeah, from a business perspective, I mean, that kind of integration could make a huge difference in terms of efficiency and data-driven decision-making. I mean, having all those tools in one place is definitely appealing.
100%. And get this. They say that Dynova AI is designed to work across various niches and business models. So it's like whether you're an experienced marketer or just starting out, they're saying it can, help you reach your target audience, regardless of your industry. Pretty bold claim.
It is, yeah. It really implies that this isn't just a niche tool, but something with much broader applications. Now, that being said, I think we need to look a little closer at some of the specific features they're talking about to see, how they actually work and if they actually live up to the hype.
Okay, let's do it. So they talk about this AI video finder, which just sounds incredibly useful. Apparently, it helps you find, relevant videos with tons of views, the kind of content you would want your ads to appear on. No more endless scrolling through YouTube trying to find the perfect video.
Right. I mean, just imagine the time you could save with a tool like that, potentially eliminating hours of, manual research. And it would totally streamline your content targeting.
Sure.
But, the question is, how effective is their AI at identifying the right videos? I think we need to examine that a little more closely.
Absolutely. And then if you prefer using your own videos, they have an AI video uploader that works with content from YouTube, Vimeo, or even files you upload directly. So you've got options.
Options are always good. Yeah, having those options is great. It definitely caters to users at different levels, people with different experience levels, different resources. But, I think we need to be real here. One of the biggest concerns with something like this is whether it's actually legit. Does it actually comply with all those platform rules?
Yeah, I know. Hijacking videos for free ads, it does sound kind of shady. But Dynova AI repeatedly states that they operate within YouTube and Vimeo's terms of service. So,
right.
But of course, you always want to do your own research. Make sure you're comfortable with that kind of approach before you really jump in.
100%. Yeah, it's always important to be aware of those potential risks and then make an informed decision. But what I find interesting is they're trying to address that skepticism head on. So they've included testimonials from users. And they even claim that some beta testers were making over $100 in just 24 hours. Now, those are, individual results. And obviously, we always encourage people to take testimonials with a grain of salt. But it does suggest they're pretty confident in what the software can do.
For sure. And, if people are actually seeing those kinds of results, I mean, it definitely adds to the credibility. And you know what else is kind of intriguing? They offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. And they go a step further.
Yeah.
They're promising an additional $200 if you don't make any money using the software. I mean, talk about putting their money where their mouth is.
It's definitely a bold move, and it seems like they're really trying to minimize the perceived risk for potential buyers. That kind of guarantee, I mean, that can be really reassuring, especially when you're trying something new. But at the end of the day, we still need to weigh those potential benefits against the cost.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So Dynova AI is being offered for a one-time fee instead of a monthly subscription, which is pretty appealing.
Yeah.
And they're running a limited time offer. That supposedly saves you a bunch compared to the regular monthly price.
Yeah. A one-time fee can be very attractive, especially if you're budget conscious. Or you just don't want to be locked into, those recurring expenses. It basically gives you the chance to try it out without feeling locked into something long-term. But, the real key here is, does the value you get from the software justify that upfront cost?
So let's think about the bigger picture for a second. Like if Dynova AI delivers on its promises, what could this mean for the advertising landscape? On platforms like YouTube and Vimeo.
That's a really interesting question. I mean, imagine if anyone could suddenly run, targeted ads for free. It could really level the playing field for smaller businesses, and for creators who maybe couldn't afford traditional advertising costs. It could lead to a much more diverse and competitive landscape,
Right.
which could ultimately benefit both the content creators and the viewers.
Imagine a world where you don't have to, shell out thousands of dollars for ad campaigns just to get your content seen. I mean, that would be a game changer.
Huge game changer. But we do need to consider some of the potential downsides as well. I mean, if everyone starts using a tool like this, it could lead to a massive influx of ads, which could potentially impact, the viewer experience in a negative way. And we also need to think about the ethical implications, right? We want to make sure that content creators are being fairly compensated and that viewers aren't bombarded with a bunch of intrusive or irrelevant ads.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's always that need for balance, right?
Yeah.
Responsible use of technology.
Yeah.
But let's focus on the positive here for a second. If Dynova AI empowers more creators and businesses to reach their target audience through video marketing, I mean, it could spark a wave of creativity and innovation. I mean, just think about the possibilities.
It's exciting to consider, right? It could be a tool that really democratizes access to video advertising.
Right.
It opens up all kinds of new opportunities for businesses of all sizes.
Totally. It could be like a game changer for those who have been priced out of those traditional advertising models.
Yeah. As with any new technology, it's important to approach it with, a little healthy dose of skepticism and a commitment to ethical practices. I mean, we need to ask the tough questions, evaluate the potential risks and benefits, and just make sure that we're using this tool responsibly.
That it's about harnessing the power of innovation while being mindful of its impact on the wider ecosystem.
Exactly. Now, you shared this marketing material with us because you're trying to figure out if Dynova AI is the right tool for you. And based on what we've seen, I think it definitely has the potential to be a valuable asset for businesses looking to, leverage video marketing. But before you make any decisions, I think there are a few key questions that you should consider.
Okay, like what kind of question? Well, yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is still kind of vague for me. I'm not totally clear on how their AI actually works. I mean, how does it actually find those videos with all the views? And then how does it make sure that the ads are actually relevant to the content?
Yeah, I think those are really valid points. Those are some important details that the marketing materials don't totally explain. So yeah, I think it would be helpful to understand the algorithms they're using, and the criteria, just to make sure that ad placement is both, effective and ethical. I mean, maybe they have some case studies or, some technical documentation that could shed more light on that stuff.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think digging a little deeper into the technical side could definitely help. What's really interesting to me is this whole concept really challenges that traditional approach to video advertising. It's like they're flipping the script and saying you don't need a huge budget to reach a large audience.
Yeah, it's a super disruptive approach for sure. And if it works as well as they claim it does, it could have a major impact on the way businesses think about video marketing. It could really open up a whole world of possibilities for people who have been, left out of that traditional advertising game.
Right.
But it also brings up some questions about the future of content creation, right? What happens if everyone starts using a tool like Dynova AI? I mean, could it, dilute the value of original content?
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, could it lead to a situation where everyone's just like, piggybacking on existing videos instead of creating their own?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, and I think it highlights how important it is to, like,
Stay
ahead of the curve, right? And to constantly be innovating. You know, as technology changes, we need to adapt our strategies.
Yeah.
And find new ways to create compelling content that stands out, you know?
Yeah, so in a way, Dynova AI could actually be like a catalyst for more creativity.
Exactly.
I might force creators to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And find those new ways to engage their audience.
Right, to push the boundaries of video marketing.
Yeah.
And lead to a more dynamic and engaging online video landscape.
Totally. Okay, so to wrap things up,
Yeah.
it sounds like Dynova AI has the potential to be a really powerful tool for video marketing. But like with any tool, you got to use it responsibly, strategically.
Absolutely. Do your research, right?
Right.
You know, research the technology itself and carefully consider, like, the ethical implications. If you do decide to move forward with it, make sure you're using it in a way that aligns with your values and, you know, the best interest of your audience.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, listener, this deep dive was just a starting point. It's up to you to, take this information, do your own research, and make that informed decision that's right for you.
And, hey, if you decide to give Dynova AI a shot, let us know how it goes. You know, we'd love to hear if it lives up to the hype and helps you reach your video marketing goals.
That's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop learning.